This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
The present work offers a complete translation of the Yutta Nikaya, the Connected Discourses of the Buddha, the third major collection in the Sutta Pitaka, or basket of discourses belonging to the Pāli Canon. The collection is so named because the suttas in any given chapter are connected, sanyutta, by the theme after which the chapter is named. The full Yutta Nikaya has been translated previously and published in 5 volumes by the Pāli Text Society under the title The Book of Kindred Sayings. The first 2 volumes were translated by Mrs. C.A.F. Rhys-Davids, the last 3 by F.L. Woodward. This translation, first issued between 1917 and 1930, is dated both in style and technical terminology, and thus a fresh rendition of the Yutta Nikaya into English has long been an urgent need for students of early Buddhism unable to read the texts in the original Pāli. My own translation was undertaken in response to a request made to me in the early 1980s by then Bhikkhu Kantipalo, now Lawrence Mills. This request was subsequently reinforced by an encouraging letter from Richard Gombrich, the present president of the Pāli Text Society, who has been keenly aware of the need to replace the Pāli Text Society translations of the Nikayas by more contemporary versions. Although this appeal came in 1985, owing to prior literary commitments, most notably to the editing of Bhikkhu Nyanamoli's translation of the Majjhima Nikaya, I could not begin my translation of the Sanyutta in earnest until the summer of 1989. Now, 10 years later, after numerous interruptions and the daunting tasks of revision and annotation, it has at last reached completion. As with the middle-length discourses of the Buddha, this translation aims to fulfill 2 ideals. First, fidelity to the intended meaning of the texts themselves, and second, the expression of that meaning in clear contemporary language that speaks to the non-specialist reader whose primary interest in the Buddha's teaching is personal rather than professional. Of course, any ideas about the intended meaning of the texts themselves will inevitably reflect the subjective biases of the translator, but I have tried to minimize this danger to the best of my ability. To attempt to translate Pāli into a modern Western language rooted in a conceptual framework far removed from the thought world of the ancient suttas is also bound to involve some degree of distortion. The only remedy against this, perhaps, is to recommend to the reader the study of Pāli and the reading of the material in the original. Unlike English or even Sanskrit, Pāli is a highly specialized language with only one major sphere of application, the Buddha's teachings, and thus its terminology is extremely precise, free from intrusive echoes from other domains of discourse. It is also rich in nuances, undertones, and conceptual interconnections that no translation can ever succeed in replicating.